Ah,
How you
I'm
doing?
alive and well. Here we go. Okay, I need my little lighting. Hi, finally, I made it on here. You know, we little dinosaurs, people. We gotta hold on 1 second.
I
Let me
will
get my little.
never call y'all the dinosaur people. I will never do that.
Ah! Okay, there we go. Ooh. All right. Oops. Oh, I gotta turn it around, right?
I was
Switch,
about to
switch.
say I would like to talk to you when I interview you,
Ah,
but I don't
not the
think
chair. Okay, there we go.
I've needed this kind of laugh like at this part of my day. I needed this all the way.
All right. Well, here we got it. All right. Mm,
Okay,
I
got you.
think I'm
So,
ready.
ladies and I like your hair.
Go
Your
ahead.
hair looks long.
Thank you. It is long. It's my hair too. No weave. Unbelievable, isn't it? Mm.
Yeah, it def. I clearly can't pull none of that off, but that still looks good. Still looks good.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kathleen Bradley. Kathleen, how are you?
I am terrific. Just busy. My God, Lord, people, it's hard being me, Chris. I'm telling you, it's hard being me.
I can imagine. I can imagine. You know, you do a whole lot. So first things first. How are you? How's your family? Is everyone safe during this pandemic?
Pandemic. Yeah, you know what? We are, praise God, well, haven't had any problems or issues with COVID. We're just staying healthy and making sure our immune systems are really well handled. You know, that's the main thing you have to do. People, take care of yourself initially and have a good, strong immune system. And that way you know, ward off or fight off all that infection and virus coming at you. Because they going like Pac-Man. You know that game, Pac-Man? It's coming at you. If they find a little hole, a little opening, a little vent, they going to get up in there. So you better, hey, squish squash it. Like Martin said, you better squish squash it.
Better squish squash it. So how are you, being able to fight, whatever virus or things like that? Like how are you making sure that your immune system is strong during this time?
You know what? Actually, I'm glad you asked because TLC, I don't know if people are familiar with total loving care, life changes, total life changes. It's a company I'm with, and they have a lot of absolutely wonderful products. NutriBurst is one of them. And when we finish this, if people definitely make sure they're on my Instagram, Kathleen Bradley _ Mrs. Parker, and on my bio, DM me, and it tells you a lot about total life changes because there's nutrients and vitamins that we have got to replenish and put into our system and our bodies that we lose on a daily basis. And TLC has a lot of wonderful, great things for people to help you keep healthy, stay healthy, build your immune system. Also, a lot of people at home gouging, eating and blowing up and get porpoises like they're blowing up, man. We're just sitting there eating, sitting on the couch, watching TV, not doing shit. Come on now. You got to get up and work out and exercise too as part of your regimen to stay healthy and stay well. So that's part of it. But go on and DM me, you guys, and look at my bio, and it shows you a lot of different real good stuff you can order and get for your health.
I'm sure that the people would love to, hear about that. Well, let's go ahead and take it back, from the beginning. Like, when did you first start acting?
Oh, my God. When I came out the womb, I'm sure. I know I was acting up. Oh, you mean acting?
Well, hey, I wasn't there when you came out the womb, so I'm
I know.
assuming that your word is correct.
No, but I first started like at the age of 8, I think that I can really recall. I wanted to do some singing and dancing and performing. My brother and we used to get on our little toy box at home back in Ohio, and we'd get on our toy box and have a little show for mom and dad and sing and dance and different things like that. And when my mom used to take us to the movie theater, and actually back then it was only like, I think it was 25 cents to get in. The admission for a movie was 25 cents. Oh my God, can you believe that?
My,
And I
how
used to look at
times
that.
have changed.
Oh, haven't they though? I used to look up at the screen and see all the people up there, and I was in awe, like, oh wow, I would like to do that one day. But as time went on, and I entered into some of the plays and what have you in school and what have you, and modeling, and went to modeling classes when I grew up, I just knew I wanted to leave Ohio, there were really no opportunities there for someone like me. And thank God I had relatives who had just moved out to here to Los Angeles. So I had a place to stay and live, and which was great. And just kind of one thing led to another. And I entered into some beauty pageants, and the beauty pageants helped me get into a singing group called the Love Machine and travel all around. And, it was always just something I always wanted to do and inspired to have done, and I did it.
Was it hard to leave Ohio? Which, by the way, we're from the same city.
Oh, hell no. I always say I'm so glad to be from there. It's a great place to be from. So it wasn't hard at all to leave Ohio, and it really gave me a lot of great roots there. I mean, in terms of building character for the weather in particular, as we have the 4 seasons and changes of the weather. I think that's something I kind of miss here in LA, because we're like a one temperature kind of place, which is cool, but I love the snow. And I still have family and relatives back there. I always go back and spend time with everybody. And usually before the pandemic came, I would at least go back at least twice a year for family reunions and visit. I have family in Columbus, Girard, and Youngstown, and Akron. And I love it. I love going back visiting. And that's my roots, and I'll never forget it. And I did learn a lot of good qualities from there. Usually when I meet people, they can always tell, even before I had a little fame, that I was different from a California girl. And I'm not really totally like, a California girl, but I've been here over 50 some years. So it's more than half my life, but it's great to have been from Ohio.
You mentioned family. Got to give a shout out to your niece who actually helped set this up. Shout out to Mindy. Mindy, much love to you. Appreciate you for that.
The cleanup lady. She got a cleaning service and everything. Mindy Dykes, she's doing it, kicking butt. I'm so happy for her. Very proud of my Mindy. Yes.
Yeah, I think that is so cool, because like when she had mentioned you to me, I'm like, yo, we could set that up ASAP. That'd be good. So yeah. I gave her a shout out once. I'll shout her out again. Shout out to the homie Mindy. Appreciate you. Now let me get back to work. So
I must tell you before we go on, I like that suit. I really love that you put on. Did you put that suit on just for me?
I sure did, because I'm talking to someone of that caliber, so I had to look the part too.
That's right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. No problem at all. So you leave Ohio, move out to Cali, start doing pageants. And how did you exactly end up on The Price is Right?
Ooh, okay. Well, you know what? After I'd been with a couple of the singing groups, I got back with my agent. I had agents for acting and modeling, and she said, Kathleen, she's from Israel. They're looking for a black model for The Price is Right. I think you would just be wonderful. You'd just fit right in real well and everything. And da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay, absolutely. But I had just had my son 3 months after I had my son, my boy. And I was always still in shape. There's ladies walking around a year after still claiming they're on baby fat, okay? So I always stayed in shape because I never knew, you never know when that opportunity is going to come around. So I always wanted to just kind of really be ready for that opportunity. Lo and behold, she said, you have to wear a swimsuit. I'm like, okay, I can wear a swimsuit. And I was in good shape. So I did. I went for the audition and got in, and they saw me, and then they had us, the ones that they really liked, tape some live shows. And after a certain period of time, they finally chose me, and it was really just a 10-year run, which was unforgettable. Great run for the show. I had a great time. A lot of good things, a lot of good memories and things there. As a matter of fact, I wrote a book called Backstage at The Price is Right. I should have had it in here. Memoirs of a Barker Beauty. And it can be gotten on Amazon.com, Kathleen Bradley, Backstage at The Price is Right. I'm telling it all, baby. Telling everything. Okay.
Something that I really am curious to get your perspective on. Do you feel that, and I could be 100% wrong for this, but do you feel that because black actresses or black women back then weren't trying to sleep with the producers and weren't trying to sleep around with people, do you feel that is why some of them did not reach the level of success that you did during that time?
not, well, it's not like nobody was trying to do it. First of all, your wording is wrong. Nobody was trying to do it. I mean, the casting couch is what they call it. Um, a lot of people, women did fall prey to the casting couch and try to get that first opportunity or get on the TV or a movie or what have you. But that wasn't the case on The Price is Right. Though I have gone out on auditions many times that might not have been, they could have went a different way. So I didn't allow it to do that. But a lot of young girls, like I said, they get desperate out here because the competition is very, very tough. And they get just desperate, and they're ready to lay down with whomever that promises them that job or what have you. So I didn't have to go through all that. But, like I was going to say, being on The Price is Right led to a lot of wonderful, great opportunities for me because I was seen by 16 million people every day. 5 days a week, okay, the very first. And it was just very a good feeling for me to be able to know that there were other young Black women, girls out there aspiring to do like me and wanted to be like me. And that made me feel really great, and I did a lot of motivational speaking for young colleges, girls in college, and not just girls, but people in common that have had relationships at a young age, and really I taught them self-esteem and tried to tell the young men as well, hey, treat your young friend or lady like a lady, and the ladies demand that respect from a man and don't have them talk and walk over you like any kind of way that they think they want to. That does not work.
From The Price is Right, you would continue to do work, and then you get cast in the iconic film Friday. How did you get that role?
Oddly enough, when I was on The Price is Right, Ice Cube, he'd watched that show, and he was looking for me, and I guess he found out who my agent was through his casting people. He said, hey, I want that Black lady, that sister. Because nobody really knew my name that well back then, not Kathleen, but they always call me that. Ain't you that Black lady on The Price is Right? I'd be at the grocery store, I'd be walking like, hey, ain't you that Black lady on The Price is Right? I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'll be that Black lady on The Price is Right. But anyway, he asked and found out from my agent that he wanted to have me for this part, for Miss Parker. And I went in for an audition. It was just me and one other girl. But he pretty much was set on having me play that part. And I got the part, needless to say. And nobody really realized that it was going to be the iconic movie that it turned out to be. My God, who would have ever thought that movie would have done what it's done? And it has made such a big impact on everybody's life who was involved in that movie, as you well know. Iconic. I mean, it's incredible. I'm so blessed to have two claims to fame. If when I die, first Black lady on The Price is Right, 10 years, and Friday, Miss Parker. That's just, I'm still getting paid for it too, which is the beautiful thing. Keep that residual money coming in. I'm telling you, it comes in really nicely. We didn't get paid that much originally because it was a low budget film. And it was F. Gary Gray's first directorial debut for a movie, which he did a fantastic job. And of course, F. Gary Gray has gone on to, you guys know, do some epic movies. Set It Off. Oh my God, The Negotiator. The French Italian Connection. Oh, so many wonderful things. He's incredible. But it just turned out, and Regina King, look at her, look where she is today, and Tiny Lester, my God, Chris Tucker, just whew, I'm telling you.
Yeah, speaking about Chris Tucker, what was it like to film that scene that you were in with him and Ice Cube, and then with you saying, hey, boys, and I'm going to shut up and let you answer, because I'm very curious to hear what you got to say about my favorite scene in the whole movie.
All right, thank you. Initially we did go in and we didn't do what usually, okay, in the movies and here in California or Hollywood, you have what you call a table reading. A table reading is initially all the cast that have been actors have been cast for the movie. You just go in before you do the movie. You sit around and you read the script. Everybody reads their part just to see how it flows. This is something for the writers and the producers to see how that goes. We didn't really have that opportunity because it was a little time consuming. They were, I think, uncertain as to a lot of people that were or were not cast at that point. So we did a little rehearsal initially, me, Chris, and Ice Cube. And it was so interesting because at that point, Gary was letting us improv, which I wasn't aware of because, see, Ice Cube and Chris had already been working on the film. And I'm coming in there like, okay, I'm sticking with the script, right? And they're kind of like, especially Chris Tucker going off script saying, oh, yeah, Miss Parker, Miss Parker, you know Miss Parker's a hoe. I'm like, what? Miss Parker's a hoe? My goodness, I know she's a sexy next door neighbor, but my goodness. But anyway, I said, they said, no, that might be a little harsh or cruel. But I mean, it could have probably fit into it. And as we all know and turned out, Miss Parker really was a hoe. Next door. But it was fun working with them. I didn't really come into that much contact with them because they were across the street. I was on the other side of the street. You know, I go from my trailer to the set. We'd wave, we say hi, and there wasn't that much interaction. And at some point, you know, there was an urgency to hurry up and try to get the film done. And everybody was just so on point. And it was really great to be able to improv and just say and do things. Like when I actually have the scene coming out of my house when Tony Cox, my husband, Mr. Parker, after Bernie Mac had come into my house and we did the nasty. And then Tony found out about it. He caught us. Bernie Mac was running out the house with his underwear on and his hat. And then Tony started throwing my clothes out. And I started running. And I said, baby, we was just praying. We was just praying, baby. I made that up. That wasn't even in the script. They just said, run out of there, say something or whatever. And I said, we were just praying. So that kind of, you know, artistic freedom was all throughout the whole movie, which I know it had made it just as special as it was, you know, with John Witherspoon saying and doing stuff and the spraying and all that, just how it all worked and came together for everybody. That was the best part of it, you know, because sometimes when you get stuck on a script and word by word, it's not, you know, that much fun unless you can take it to another level. And a lot of directors allow it and some don't, but he did.
Do you feel that because the role that you had was such, it wasn't necessarily a big role as far as like other characters, but it was still big enough where people can recognize you? Was it hard to book work outside of Friday?
No, not really. But let me say this about that. The thing is that I was still on The Price is Right. You have to remember, I was on that show from 1990 to 2000. And Bob Barker and the people, producers, they really frowned upon the beauties going out for auditions, interviews, and all of that. And they really didn't want us to do other things, which is stupid. This is my chair.
I say, please don't fall.
I have to get situated in this chair out here. Put my arm on, it's a little slippery. They really didn't want us to do things outside of The Price is Right or go on auditions. But you would have thought or think that, hey, I'm going to do something, a movie or TV show or something that we had 4 models on the show. 3 of us could take care of the whole damn show. That was not a problem. But I don't know. They were just kind of fuddy-duddy then. And that held me back a little bit to say that, this about that. That really held me back, that I didn't really have the freedom to leave or not show up or go to work and venture out on other things. So I didn't pursue a lot. I didn't have my manager, you know, unless we had like a break. But the thing is, we only worked 3 days a week. And we worked 3 weeks a month. Now that's a blessing in and of itself. So hopefully sometimes if the interviews came on the week, Thursday or Friday, that was cool. Or if sometimes we could have our managers or agents work around our schedule working, we could fit something into doing outside worker jobs or print commercials and things of that nature. But I really should have pursued it more than I did after that movie came out. But nobody ever really thought it was going to be as big as it was, you know. That was the time to strike, like you said, Chris. That was really the time that really, for me to strike while the iron fire was hot. But still, you know, it's just a resurgence. This is the 25th year. We're having 25th anniversary right now for Friday. And it's just been wonderful. And it's the gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, it is. The gift that I actually got from Friday a few months ago, I got a chance to do a segment with Paula Parker, who played
Right.
Craig's girlfriend. And that was so cool. So to be able to do an interview with the real Mrs. Parker is
Yeah, right.
definitely a blessing.
That is Paula Parker. You know, Paula and I just did it's on UMC, Urban Movie Channel, and it's like only $4.99 per month. She and I did a TV series together. I was really just in the first season, the first episode. I played her mother, actually, and it's a really good show. It's called A House Divided. A
Yeah.
House Divided on the UMC. So when people get a chance, look at it. It's going into its third season, which is great. But unfortunately, I only lasted one episode, one season, which is okay. I was relevant to the storyline for the whole thing, you know.
Oh, I'm hip.
Huh?
I said, oh, I'm definitely hip now.
Yeah. But, you know, a lot of good things and opportunities have come around.
With everything that you've done in your career, how did you manage to stay motivated in the difficult times?
Ooh. You know what? I have just been so blessed. I haven't had too many difficult times, what I would call trying or difficult times, other than when I got put off the show. It was kind of devastating to me. Janice and I were unjustifiably fired, let go. And that was, to me, that was a really bad point and period of time of my life. And we did get a little settlement, and they paid off a little bit. I should have held out and gotten more, but there were some other financial things going on here with my family life that I couldn't really afford to hold off and not have this paycheck coming in. You know, my husband was going through something. He's a contractor, and he was being sued and stuff, what have you. But I had like a 4-year gag order, so I couldn't say anything about it, what happened. But when it lifted, obviously, that's when I really took time out, or during that time, to write my book, which was very, you know, therapeutic. I tell people all of the time, write your story, write how you feel, especially now while people are in on this pandemic and you really don't have a lot of places to go and things to do. Write your story. Everybody has a story. I don't care. Make something up. I don't care if it's like, I love my pets and I, or growing up in the pandemic, or doing this and not getting a full education, or I missed my prom this year, or anything, everything. Write. Writing is a dying art with some people. And, you know, reading is, you know, people have to read. You have to read more. You know, I don't care if you go online and read a book or do whatever, but it's important.
I love how you're stressing the emphasis on reading, and along with this interview, I can just feel that you want everybody to stay positive. How do you, as somebody that has seen the best of the best and also seen sometimes the worst of the worst, how do you manage to stay positive?
Oh, you know, I'm just that kind of girl. I'm just that kind of girl. I am always so positive and uplifting, even in the face of diversity. People will tell you I'm really noted for that, and I have a lot of good friends, and I think I know a lot of it comes from being brought up in Ohio. And my mother was very, very optimistic. She was so sweet. My mother, she would tell jokes all the time. I came from a very happy, loving family, and a lot of that I brought forth with me and instilled within me my spirit, my heart, my faith. And I've just been very fortunate and learned how to make a good of a bad situation, knowing that, like they say, this too shall pass, and looking at the light at the end of the tunnel, and looking at the rainbow, the double rainbow, just being, staying steadfast and clear-minded. And I'm very nurturing, and I always love to help other people out, my family. And if I got it, you got it. I'm all about giving. And when you giving and reap what you sow, it comes back to you tenfold.
It does, and I'm glad that you gave me this interview today. Last question. If anybody wanted to follow you or wanted to connect with you, how can they do that?
Go to my Instagram, Kathleen Bradley _ Mrs. Parker. And I do have a couple of Facebooks. A couple of them I have to let people in, though, but Kathleen Bradley, I do have a fan Facebook, which I have to get to. I have 3 Facebook pages.
3 of them.
But
I only got 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but I have 3. You're not me. It's hard being me.
You right. 100% right, because the brother only got 1 Facebook page. That means I ain't working hard enough.
Nope. But I do have a website, KathleenBradley.tv, www.KathleenBradley.tv. On my website, it tells. I'm actually in the process of revitalizing and updating my website. It's a little older, but it has a lot of nice photos on it, some videos and different things, a way to get a hold of me and for interviews and speaking engagements or what have you. But I'm not hard to find, and Google me. I have a lot of good stuff on Google, too. My family, we used to do a show called It's a Family Affair on RMC with live streaming TV, radio. And we have a lot of good shows on there. It's a Family Affair with Kathleen Bradley. Look that up.
Yeah, well, I hope when the interviews pop up, they take a look at this one, too. But
that was a bug just flew by here. Woo, a June bug.
And that's how it's time for me to get off, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kathleen Bradley on the Chris Gunther Show. Kathleen, thank you so much for your time.
Bless you.
See y'all next time. I'm out.